It's a transitional time at Crystal Palace Football Club as older, more experienced players reaching the twilights of their careers mixes with some young, emerging, exciting talent. So let's see if we can create our very own Selhurst success story. Hello everyone and welcome to part one of a Selhurst success story, where I attempt to lead Crystal Palace to a period of success. It's a transitional time at the football club. There are a lot of older players reaching the end of their careers, such as Milivojevic, MacArthur, Ward, and there's some exciting young talent like Michael Elise, Mark Gahey coming through, looking to help Crystal Palace have a fantastic future. Before we get going on this, I'd just like to ask you all, leave a like on this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when future videos are coming, and help me build the channel. Palace are a team I support in real life. I managed them in the beta version of this game and was sacked at Christmas. It wasn't fun. We had a lot of issues. I upset players really quickly. I moved players on to try and get a bit of a transfer budget. We went on a run of about 10 games without a win, and I ended up making it I think it was Boxing Day before I got the sack. There's been a change now though. The winter update has happened after the January transfer window closed. So players are different. Everything's different. Expectations are different. So hopefully it'll be a different outcome and we will see a little bit of success at Selhurst Park. I've already set my two tactics that I want to use, looking at the players, thinking how they would fit in. First one's going to be a 4-2-3-1 wide. Start with a balanced mentality. Gaeta in goal. Will probably be Gaeta and Butland who will mix about. Anderson and Gahey, the centre-back pairing. Mitchell as the marauding left-back. Midfield, may need a little bit of strengthening actually. We'll look at the squad depth in a sec. Elise coming in from the right, Zaha from the left, Gallagher behind Edouard. Edouard could drop back there and play there. Gallagher could drop back and play the box-to-box role. At the minute I've got Hughes on deep line playmaker. But it's only my first day. We haven't even looked at the squad properly yet. And the second is the 4-3-3 wide with a defensive midfielder. If we do look at the contract situation, there are a few players whose contracts are going to be up at the end of the season. So Yaroslav Yak, who's never played a game for Palace, he's on 10 grand a week, so I'm probably going to look to move him on as quickly as possible. Ayew, Klein, MacArthur and Tompkins are all squad players. They're all highly influential players. MacArthur's a team leader. Tompkins, Kelly, Klein and Ayew are all in the highly influential stage. And Koyate's down as a regular starter. Kelly's a fringe player. So there may be a possibility of moving a couple of them on. But we might not need to. Yeah, and that's the introduction to this video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at the backroom staff, change what I think needs changing. I'm going to look at finances, etc. Like at the minute, there's not a great deal. 1.8 million left in the transfer budget, 1.5 million wage budget, of which there's not a lot left. If we click on there, you can see there's 20 grand a week left, which ain't a great deal of money. Squad depth says that playing the system we've got, there are a lot of 3-star players. Koyate is apparently my best centre-back, but probably going to look to play in midfield and have a partnership of Anderson and Gahey. Tompkins is up there, although Tompkins is now 32 years old and is quite injury prone, so we're probably not going to look to play him much. Kelly can come in if needs be, but I'm probably going to look to strengthen the defence if I can. And Joel Ward is our best right back. Again, a player who's getting on in years, 31 years old now. Has never been the quickest of right backs. In real life, I absolutely love him. But game-wise, we've got to see. It remains to be seen, doesn't it, how he's going to perform. But we'll see what happens the first couple of weeks of pre-season. We'll have a little look at who I think I can and can't bring in. Like I said, there's not a lot of money available. So it's not going to be a massive spending spree. And we'll get to the start of the season and see how we get going. See how things go to begin with. And then see what needs changing after that. Right, the changes that I said I was going to make have started. Steve Bold is my new assistant manager. Ocean Roberts, who was the assistant manager who Patrick Vieira brought in, his mentality was completely different to mine. His preferred formation was a 4-4-2. He wanted to play direct, over the top football, I think. Whereas Steve Bold, 4-2-3-1 wide preferred formation with a second preferred formation of a 4-3-3 DM wide. Playing style with standard, and I'm looking at playing the balanced game. Gegenpress, I'm looking at playing pressing. So he fits the bill. Solid defending, coaching attributes, working with youngsters good. Judging player ability and potential is good. People management of 13. Got good adaptability, determination, discipline, motivation. So he fits. Even though he was only his main role is a coach, I've brought him in as my assistant because I think that he will suit my tactical how I want to play. He will fit what I want the team to do. Couple of outgoings already as well. James Tompkins has gone to Alaves and Jaroslav Yak has gone to QPR. There's also a couple of players that are on the verge of leaving on loan. Nia Kirby, Scott Banks, and I think Reece Hannam. Reece Hannam's actually upset. He's got the ump because he wants to join Watford, even though they offered me about £400,000 for him. And he's a 20-year-old with a decent amount of potential. Something I didn't look at before was the club vision. So the club culture, they want us to develop players using the club's youth system, play counter-attacking football and sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. Sign players sell for profit work within the wage budget is a 5-year plan, and the end of the current season, they want a mid-table finish. I went on the team meeting at the start of the season, said, let's avoid getting dragged into a relegation battle, and they all got the ump. They want to finish mid-table at least. So the players and the board are along the same lines. So we're looking for a mid-table finish. 5th round of the FA Cup and 4th round of the EFL Cup are the minimum requirements, although the EFL is just preferred. And grow the club's reputation. By the end of next season, they want me to record a Premier League top half finish and maintain that. So the board want us to become a top half team in the Premier League. Although I think as time goes on, if they want us to achieve that, the money's going to have to go up a little bit, isn't it? The dynamics at the club, the atmosphere is very good, managerial support's good. Team cohesion is only average. We lost Tompkins from the highly influential players, but it hasn't upset anybody. And we're scouting a few players to see if we can make any improvements. Won our first friendly as well. 5-2 win away at Ostend. Got a few more friendlies to go, culminating in a big home friendly against Roma. And we start the Premier League season on the 14th of August at home to Watford. And that is when I'm going to come back next and let you know how pre-season's gone. Right, we've reached the first day of the Premier League season. Not much has happened in the way of transfers so far. I'm on the wrong screen straight away. We have brought in Chris Mepham from Bournemouth. Centre back, 6'3", decent in the air, ball playing defender, 3-star current ability, 4-star potential, 23 years old, 21 cap for Welsh international, good valuation, and he's a good backup to Anderson and Gahey, and also Koyate, who is considered to be our best central defender despite being a midfielder. He is suspended for the first game of the season, but hopefully he'll come in after that and do a job. He's agreed as a squad player, so he's a good backup option. Unfortunately, he can only play in one position, but it's not too much of an issue because that's what we've brought him in for. Mert Mulder from Sassuolo, we tried to get in on loan with an option to buy. 22-year-old who come up as like an A+ rating buy no matter the cost. Club won't sell. So we've gone for Jordan Lotomba from Nice instead. He's a right back, can play wing back, right midfield and left midfield. 22 years old. He's considered scouting wise to be better than what we've got at right back. Not a great deal better, but better nonetheless. He's 22 years old. Has the potential to be a very, very good player. He's slightly off-putting was the fact that his passing and his crossing are not the greatest, but if it does turn out to be sort of towards the top of those ranges, then it isn't going to be too bad. Like I said, he's better than what we've got, and he's younger. He's been capped by Switzerland as well, so he is considering the contract offer at the minute. We've offered him £24,000 a week, £1.5 million initial, with a possibly raising to £6 million. I think most of that's on instalments. So hopefully he'll agree to come, and that will be the right back and the backup centre back sorted out. Other than that, there's been no changes at all. And we take on Watford on the opening day of the season, managed by Roy Hodgson, who was Palace manager in game until a couple of weeks ago. Actually, saying about Hodgson, when I played as Palace manager in the beta save just to get the hang of the game, before the game was even released, and the players were quite negative. They were happy to avoid relegation, this, that, and the other. But I've already seen in just the few weeks in game of playing so far since the winter update that the players are more ambitious. And they seem to be better as well. I mean, Michael Elise is a wonder kid now. Should have been in the first place, but he is now. When you look at our pre-season, I mean, we've beaten Roma 2-0, Malaga 2-0, got a 0-0 draw away to Madrid, Atletico Madrid, not Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. Beat Ostend, drew with Real Sporting. So we've been playing good teams in pre-season. I mean, we haven't played, apart from Bromley, we haven't really played whipping boys. And we've come through it unbeaten. So hopefully that gives us a bit of confidence going into our first game of the season, which, like I said, is against Watford. And the team to do that is Guaita in goal, Ward, Koyate, Guehi, Schlupp, Riedewald, Hughes, Elise, Gallagher, Zaha and Edouard. Joachim Anderson, Joachim Anderson's injured, Chris Mepham suspended, Klein, Mitchell are both injured as well. Hence the reason Schlupp's on the left. Riedewald will start in the midfield because Koyate drops back to take the place of Anderson. And the season is underway. Watford kick off. And hopefully we can come away from this. I don't want that. I don't know why this has changed back. On key highlights, we want a bit faster than that. And there's Edouard. Gallagher picks out Elise on the right, who flicks it in, is cleared, and the ball is off for a goal kick. And the early proceedings here see Watford with all the possession. Quite weird for a Roy Hodgson side to actually have possession. There's Edouard trying to find Elise on the right, but Kamara blocks it out. And Watford are going to look to counter-attack here. And not Koyate picks it up. Gallagher through. Edouard clear through on goal. And odds on Edouard hits the post. I thought that was a certain goal then. Koyate winning the possession back. And there's a corner. Gallagher. Can he play it in? He plays it all the way back to Riedewald, who then plays it back to Ward. Hughes. Gero again. Zaha finds Edouard. Edouard picks out Schlupp on the left. Schlupp swings it in. Zaha and straight into the hands of Foster in the Watford goal. Now Watford are going to look at breaking. Sarr brings it back to King, and King, the ball skimmed the top of the bar and goes out for a goal kick. Watford still having all the possession, where we look to be the better team going forward as it stands. Hughes breaks into the box and the referee's given a foul. It looked to me like the Watford defender had got the ball, but it does appear that the referee's going to give a penalty, and he does. Penalty awarded. Did look a harsh decision, to be honest, but it's odds on Edouard against Foster, and Palace are 1-0 up. Get in. Odds on Edouard from the penalty spot. First goal of the season. And it may have looked a bit of a harsh penalty, but I'll take them all. I'll take every single harsh decision that goes our way. And despite the fact that we haven't had much in the way of possession here, we seem well on top. Our XG and the amount of chances we've had. There's Elise into the box and he's hit the post, but Zaha runs in and that is 2-0. Zaha was first to react. Elise got into the box, onto the post. If we see here, Schlupp's free kick, short to Gallagher. Gallagher back to Hughes. Hughes to Edouard. Edouard played Elise in. Elise, turn of pace. Their defence didn't react. Wilf Zaha did. And that is Palace 2, Watford 0. And if you can hear the baby screaming, shouting in the background, my 8-month-old's currently having his lunch. And he likes to shout a lot whilst eating. There's Gallagher just past the post. And as we approach half time, we've had 12 shots, 5 on target, an XG of 2.53 in his first half. And Watford looked to break. And he should have got back there, but he didn't. We can just defend this and go in the break with a clean sheet, and we couldn't defend it, but Josh King's shot went well wide. And they're going to get another chance. And that one is defended. Now Edouard. Whistle goes for half time, and the stats there, 13 shots, 5 on target, an XG of 2.67. Edouard from the spot. Wilf Zaha reacting first after Elise had hit the post, which was the second time we'd hit the post in that first half. And that is a first half to be extremely, extremely happy with. Fantastic performance all around here, really. A couple of average ratings in the defence, 6.7 for Koyate and Gehi. But we haven't conceded a goal yet. I shouldn't have said that, should I? But here we go. Ward throws into Jaro Riedewald. Ward with a cross. Zaha. Zaha got up first, but his header goes over the bar. And I'm going to make a couple of substitutions just to rest a few players, really. Haven't really got much in the way of wide players looking at this. So that might be something I need to think about going forward, to be honest. Yeah. Didn't actually take that into consideration, to be honest. I don't know what I've done there. At least they can go onto the left. We'll bring Ayew on the right in place of Zaha, because Zaha's been booked. I'll give Mateta a run out, and that'll do for now. We'll save one just in case we get any injuries or anything. Hasn't really been much except for that Zaha header in this second half to get excited about, but we could be mustering something together here. Mateta finds Elise on the left. Elise tries to break in. Mateta with a shot from range, but doesn't find the target. Elise back to Schlupp. Schlupp, Hughes. They're just passing it about in the midfield here, looking for that opening, and that's a poor pass from Elise. But it's been mopped up at the back, and we've got the ball back. There's Ward, Gallagher. Back to Hughes. Passing it about lovely at the back. This has been some excellent football here. There's Hughes with a great long-range pass. Ayew to Mateta, and Mateta's header has gone just over. Fantastic long-range pass there that picked out Ayew on the right. And again, Hughes looks for that long-range pass, but the ball goes through to the keeper this time. And this is a pretty routine opening day victory. We're looking very much the better side. Not really been troubled. We've played some nice little passing football. We've attacked well. We've kept possession well from what I've seen. The players seem to be playing very well together. And there's Gallagher who picks out Schlupp. Schlupp puts it in. Mateta, and there's 3-0. Jean-Philippe Mateta. Again, like I said, lovely football. Lovely passing football. Not rushing things. Not playing silly passes. Gallagher picked out Schlupp. Lovely on the left. And then he just plays it in. Front post. Mateta can't miss. Can't miss. And Watford are going to try and get a consolation here. But again, King over the bar. We've got rolled out another couple of minutes to keep a clean sheet on top of a very convincing win. But Watford are going to try and change that. There's Kalu through 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and Guaita with a fantastic save. Fantastic save. Late on. Don't make a difference to the scoreline, but it'd be nice to keep a clean sheet. There's Readable who heads the ball to safety. The ball goes off, and that is a 3-0 win for Crystal Palace. My first game in charge, well, competitive game in charge, and 21 shots on goal, 9 on target, an XG of 3.32, 50% possession after Watford had the opening exchanges, 7 corners, Edouard penalty, Zaha and Mateta with a nice little touch in at the near post. The only player who failed to get a 7 rating was Jordan Ayew, who came on as not a late sub, but it was like 70 minutes. Everyone else has performed extremely well. Guaita with a fantastic save at the end to keep the clean sheet. And Jeffrey Schlupp, who is only in the team because Tyreek Mitchell's injured, is man of the match with an 8.2. And May calls me to have a little bit of a selection headache when Mitchell is fit. That was a fantastic win on the opening day of the season. And I'm going to leave this first episode of a Selhurst Success Story right there, with Crystal Palace top of the Premier League. Can't get no more successful than that, can you? If you've enjoyed that, please do leave a like, comment below. Let me know what you would consider to be successful for this series. I'm calling it a Selhurst Success Story. What would be a Selhurst Success Story? Is it Palace winning a cup, winning the Premier League, getting into Europe, even top 4? What is your interpretation of success for Crystal Palace Football Club? Mine is that right there, but after 38 games have been played. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to know when the next video is uploaded, and I will see you all again soon. Bye bye.